I would assume so. New Hampshire is trying to repeal their own same-sex marriage laws, and Representative Nancy Elliott had some thoughts on gay behavior, so to speak, that have been floating around the internet that a lot of people have been confused and, quite frankly, pretty entertained by.
We heard in the hearing one of the people that came to testify, and they said that this is not normal. And I had to think about it a while. What were we talking about? And so I started thinking, and we're talking about taking the penis of one man and putting it in the rectum of another man and wiggling it around in excrement, and you have to think, I'm not sure. Would I allow that to be done to me? All of us, that could happen to you. Would you let that happen to you? Is that normal?
Okay, because in the interests of not discussing something in a way that might violate FCC rules, because we are on broadcast radio here, we won't comment on this clip, but Representative Nancy Elliott from New Hampshire, she seems to really be taking a completely different angle on this, one that I have to say is pretty entertaining, but also somewhat bizarre. There's a new national security distraction, and this is really the only way I can think of to explain it, Lewis, and this is Arabic language students, Americans, who seem to be perfectly normal, nice people, who are learning Arabic. The ACLU filed a lawsuit on behalf of Nick George, who's a Pomona College student who was detained and aggressively interrogated by the TSA, by the FBI, and by Pennsylvania police when he tried to board a plane carrying not a bomb, not underwear acid, or whatever it was that the underwear bomber had, but Arabic language flashcards that on one side had a word in English and on the other side had a word in Arabic. Not liquids, not matches, not a bomb, flashcards. And he's a physics major who's studying Arabic. He was pulled aside for a secondary screening in Philadelphia. He tried to go through security. He emptied his pockets. Inspectors saw his flashcards. He was arrested, handcuffed, locked in a cell for hours, and aggressively questioned. Let's actually hear his explanation of what took place. Take a listen.
I was traveling back to school from Philadelphia to California. When I went up to the metal detector, the woman told me to step aside for the special screening. So I emptied my pockets of everything non-metal that I hadn't already given out, which included a set of Arabic flashcards. Just simple word in English on one side, word in Arabic on the other side, which I was using to study. The vast majority of the flashcards had words like graduate or adjectives like, I don't know, funny, or things like the verb to smile. First she asked me how I felt about 9/11, which, what's the answer to that question? I thought it was a bad thing. I thought it was a terrible thing. And she asked me if I knew who did it, and I said Osama bin Laden. Then she got this real, sneer on her face, like she'd caught me in a trap or something, and said, yeah, you know what language Osama bin Laden spoke? And I noticed that there was a police officer behind me who instructed me to put my hands behind my back. I did so, and he put me in handcuffs and started leading me away. I mean, it was just total shock. The whole thing is very surreal. At first you think, how silly, they're questioning me about my Arabic. It just became more and more confusing as it went on. It just leading me through a very populated airport in handcuffs, like I'd, shoplifted or actually done something unsafe for the airplane.
It's incredible. Arabic flashcards. Hours and hours, 7 law enforcement officers detaining and questioning him, unnecessary arrest, handcuffs, sitting in a cell. It's one thing to say, well, there's an abundance of caution here, but we are diverting resources away in this particular case, with Nick George, from people who actually may be trying to do something that we should be concerned about. Are we not?
Right. I don't know what else to say about it.
The other thing is that not only did he clearly not pose a threat to flight safety, so on and so forth, but this is also not going to help the perception about a lot of these agencies. And it's, again, one of the other things, just because you're studying Arabic, not even you're overheard speaking Arabic, you're simply just studying it, and you're learning how to say, for example, funny in Arabic, or to smile. That's now a concern. It's strange to me, and I think that the real concern is we know TSA has been having trouble People are walking backwards through the security line. They have to clear an entire New York airport terminal because a TSA guy is fighting on his cell phone. And they spend so many resources and so much time on this guy. It's incredible. It really is. And I encourage you to go to our website, go to midweekpolitics.com. The poll this week, aggressive detention and interrogation of Americans with Arabic English flashcards is key to keeping America safe, unconstitutional, actually making us less safe. Go to midweekpolitics.com and let me know what you think, and we will get to the results next week. From this week is what I want to say. We'll take a break, and when we come back, plenty more. Midweekpolitics.com is the website. We're thrilled to have you listening today.
This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
This episode of Midweek Politics has been made possible in part by Just Coffee Cooperative, fair trade coffee from around the world roasted daily at justcoffee.coop.